But that day I opened and admitted it all, and I had a baby in my arms, and I loved and wanted and knew that I was a different woman, that I'd been forgiven, that I heard God that day say he loved me no matter what. And I ain't never been the same. And that baby was perfectly healthy, 7 pounds, 12 ounces, never cried a crack cry or tremor, and had it flowing through her blood. And it was given a new life that day, and so was my daughter.
Janet, let me when we're talking to Janet Gillispie, who, along with Sammy Jo Barstow, has written just a marvelous book about God's love and grace. It's titled Delivered, My Dark Path Through Addiction. Janet, one of the things that was striking to me as I read this story was this is just over the course of minutes. You were going in there saying, get this thing out of me. I don't want this baby. And the fact that you were a completely new person was demonstrated by the fact that you suddenly loved your child. I found that extraordinary. Tell our listeners, though, about the next miracle that happened, because they wanted to take your baby away from you because of the crack. Tell us what happened, how God moved on your behalf.
Well, that day when I had her, and I admitted everything in the delivery room. I just spilled my guts out, you might say. I told them I needed help. I said, I haven't fed her nothing but crack and alcohol. Y'all help her. I won't help. I want to keep her. Well, 4 days later, they brought her to me regularly, to the room, and let me feed her and change her and bond, and that was just God right there. And God was just in it all for her to even be born healthy and a full-term baby, 40 weeks, and a healthy weight. But 3 days later, they told me I could leave and discharged. And I said, what do you mean? Where's my baby? And they said, well, she can't go. And I said, I'm not leaving her. But, and that's just amazing. I wanted to leave her and sign a paper, and then here 3 days later, God had changed me that day on that table, and I said, I'm not leaving my baby. Don't make me leave my baby. And I said, I don't want to go out these doors. I don't know what's going to happen to me. And so the doctor, God, I'm saying he worked it out, because, they called security and they told me, I had to go, and God just worked it out. And the doctor said, just let her stay another night with the baby. And the next morning, a lady came in from the social worker and said, we have a place for you and your daughter to go. Of course, DHR was going to be involved because of the crack and alcohol in her body and mine. But, they didn't take her from me. I didn't go to prison or jail for having that in her system, and mine too, and for no prenatal care whatsoever. God had already worked it out. And the day I arrived at that treatment center, I had nothing, not even a baby outfit, or they gave me some free little samples of milk and a blanket, and she was in a hospital gown. And there came a knock on the door, and a woman that lived there said, I've got some baby bottles my baby don't use. Or another lady knocked on the door and says, you need a blanket for your bed. And God has supplied my every need from the day on that delivery table. And he has definitely showed me a life and given me a life that I never thought I could have, that was beyond my reach, over all the sin and all the things I had done in my life. I figured I'd die out there somewhere one day, or somebody would kill me. And I had turned myself over, and what heart I had left, that would be my life on that street until the day I died. And God just showed up and just made it all new. And I tell you, I got a life I never dreamed I'd have. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. It's the best thing I could ever have hoped for. And to be a mother, too, it's amazing. He's amazing.
Story.
God.
Janet, we're out of time. This has been a great opportunity to let folks hear about God's saving power and grace. Your book, Delivered, My Dark Path Through Addiction, it is written along with Sammy Jo Barstow. Where can folks get this book?
Well, online, christianbooks.com and Lifeway Christian Books, and also Barnes & Noble. And Barnes & Noble and Lifeway are carrying it in their stores, too.
Thank you so very much for being with us, Janet.
Well, thank you, and God bless your show and all that you're doing and listening to that angel tree. We do that every year, and I didn't know how it got started, but I'm going to look into that, too.
Thank you so much, Janet. God bless you.
Well, God bless you, too. Thank y'all for having me today.
And Janet will actually be in Tupelo, Mississippi next Thursday, for those of you in North Mississippi, at the Summit on Gloucester, so you can see her and hear her talk.
Hear her testimony. Mm-hmm. Folks, after we come back after the news, we'll be talking about the possible implosion of Russia.